Hello, Year Nines. Welcome to another week of remote learning awesomeness. I'm going to post a couple of documents with this video today. Just make sure I open the right ones here. So we have this document, which is a practice assessment. So this is a really close version of a real assessment you're going to do next week. It's a language analysis task to do with persuasive writing. And this week we're going to spend some time doing a practice analysis, and I really want to bounce this back and forwards a few times between yourself and myself to make sure that you get this practice one perfect. If you can do this practice one perfect, then you can definitely do the real one perfect, okay? Because they're really, really similar tasks. And one of the things that is most similar about them is the way that you will be marked. So this document I will make available as well, and this is the document I'll use to give you your feedback. So this is the rubric, and the levels you have here are 7, 8, 9, 10. So really what you want to do is hit this line here to make sure you're doing these things in your work. That means you're at year 9 level. And even better, if we can punch above our weight and get anything over here into the year 10 level, that's where you're going to get, those super, super good results from. So this rubric will allow you to know exactly what your work needs to include to do well. And if you send me a first version of the work and it doesn't hit the mark, that's not the end of the world, because I'll send it back to you and we'll change what we need to change so that you can see how to use this document to make sure your work is as good as it can possibly be. So let's go back to the practice assessment. I'll read through this one for you real quick. Read the opinion article carefully, then annotate the article and accompanying image. Okay, so you've got an article to read, not a huge one. Then you've got a handful of questions to answer at the end. So 4 pages of document, 2 of those are dedicated to the article. Sorry, 1 is dedicated to the article. Then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 questions that you need to complete. So once this is done, get it to me ASAP. I'll have a look at it with that rubric. I'll probably get you to do the same thing, and we'll play with it over the course of the week and get it to a point where it's A plus quality. Okay, let me get stuck into it. The Numbers Don't Stack Up by Taj Hewlett. Solar power is a great idea, and I can see why people are keen to make it work. Look at how much sun we get in Australia, they shout. How can it not work? But there's more to solar success than the sun shining. Our current technologies make plastering your roof in solar PV cells relatively expensive for the amount of energy they produce. The reality is, most ordinary hardworking families don't have several $1,000s sitting around to throw at something that might pay for itself, might pay itself off in a decade, and might score them a few extra cents off their enormous power bill each month. Moreover, real power prices are continuing to grow to meet rising renewable energy targets. Until our economy is in a strong enough position for the government to pay to replace our existing coal and gas-fired electricity production with renewable energy entirely, it will be ordinary people who will suffer the most. Furthermore, experts from the Alternative Technology Association suggest that upcoming changes to solar energy prices in New South Wales might cost households up to $4,000 more a year. Is that what we want? For poor people to be even worse off? Despite what some people will tell you, the solution isn't more solar panel rebates that normal people won't benefit from anyway. The answer is pushing the fat cats in Canberra to spend money on researching ways to harness renewable energy in a way that is cost effective and benefits all Australians, rich and poor. Clean Energy Council statistics show that in 2015, small scale solar produced 2.4% of the country's total electricity. That's hardly saving the planet. Therefore, we must not let our representatives sit back and do nothing. Write, email, or call your Member of Parliament today. That is your article. And here are your questions. What is the source, author, publication, and date of the newspaper article? Now, you can't get all those things from this, but you should be able to get some of that. What is the contention of the article? Now, the contention, as you probably remember, means argument, not quite disagreement, dispute, disputation, debate, conflict, controversy, strife. Contention is what they think. Okay, so the issue is solar panels. The contention is what the author thinks about solar panels. So that's what you need to put in here. Number 4, what positive words or phrases are used in the article? Okay, so you're going to have to go through and fish those out. And why are these positive words used? You'll have to have a think about that one. Describe the accompanying photograph in detail. Note colours, textures, etc. So that is the photograph there. Now, while you're playing with it, if you want to, you can make it a lot bigger. That might help you have a closer look at it. Okay, so it says to have a think about the colour choices used and really have a little think about what this picture is trying to tell us. Next question. How does the image support the author's contention? What does the author want the reader to do? So there is a call to action in this article, and that call to action will be how you answer this question. Question 10, complete the following table by quoting examples of the specific persuasive techniques that are used in the article. The numbers don't stack up. So on the left, you've got the persuasive technique, and on the right, you need to give an example. Okay, so we've got inclusive language, appeal to your pocket, and emotive language as well. So you need to pop in as many examples as you can would be best into these 3 boxes. Next, complete the following paragraph by filling in the blank spaces. Taj Hewitt's main contention is, okay, that one you've already answered earlier. Hewitt gives 3 main reasons for his point of view. These are, boom, boom, boom. Hewitt also presents evidence to support his point of view. 2 types of evidence he includes are facts, statistics, expert evidence, personal experience. So circle the 2 that are relevant. 1 piece of evidence he includes is, put your example. This helps to support his argument because, get rid of that is there. And that is everything you have to do. Okay, now once you get that done, bounce this to me via Edmodo instant messaging as soon as it is sorted. I will take a look at your work with this rubric and I will mark it straight up. So the sooner you can send it to me, the sooner we can mark it and the sooner we can have a discussion about how you make your work better. Okay, so we really want you to be able to hit the 9 level here. And I won't spend a whole heap of time going through this rubric today, but tomorrow or the next day I'll post a video and go through the rubric in a little bit more detail. And if there's anything that you guys are consistently doing well, I'll point that out. But if there's any area where all of us sort of need to spend a little bit of focus, I'll make sure I point that out for you as well. So keep an eye out for the videos, keep a copy of this document and give it a good read over before you start your work, because that way you're going to know exactly what you need to do in order to get a good mark. And all the best with this task. So once again, next week you're going to get a very similar task, which will be marked in the exact same way. But next week you won't have the opportunity for feedback. So next week you'll do the task and I'll get it and it'll be assessed. So take the time this week to nail this practice one. And if you can ace this one, you'll absolutely ace the one next week. Good on you, Year 9s. Let me find the button. There it is.